Okay, fellow Biznitches, here I am enjoying my family holiday in the beautiful, sunny city of Barcelona. It's been amazing here. I chose to stand in front of one of Gaudi's most famous buildings called La Pedrera, which he did about 100 years ago, and he was revolutionary at the time. It was just one building of many that was done at the time. Barcelona was the start of modernism in the world. And what was fantastic about it was that this country that has been taken over by many different people and countries, like it was owned by the Romans, started by the Romans, and then the Austrians in here and the French, and then they had a huge civil war about 150 years ago. They have embraced architecture and art like nobody's business. In fact, Picasso was born very close to here. He spent a ton of his time here. And Dali also was from here. He spent a ton of his time here. And these two different, very famous men were embraced for their uniqueness in a city where many wouldn't. So then here I am enjoying this amazing family vacation in a city that has all sorts of stuff going on all over the place. They got art everywhere. It's fantastic. And it made me realize that nations are built around foresight and the willingness to embrace different things. This city, in fact, has had several anarchy governments, which is crazy, which doesn't even make sense to me. But they have, and they've been somewhat successful with it. Gaudi, when he was building one of his buildings, his benefactor, the guy who hired him, said, Gaudi and he were talking. Gaudi said, "Hey, do you even like my work?" And his benefactor goes, "I don't like it, but I respect it, and therefore we're going to do it." And then he built one of these buildings that is magnificent. We'll come to it in a second, you'll see. But it's been fantastic to witness a city that leads the world in cuisine and art and controlled libertinism, a willingness to grow that we should all embrace. So more than 100 years ago, maybe 100, I don't know. You can see all these weird buildings, and there's this Dr. Seuss building right there. That's what Gaudi did as well. So more than 100 years ago, this is a architectural hotbed in Europe. And so they dedicated the facades, actually not just the facade, but mainly, and the insides, to what architect was the best, because this was the birthplace of modernism. And so these guys all had to throw down and make their best building. And Gaudi's, who's now is the most famous, he lost. And the guy behind it, he did some kind of Austrian architecture, and the guy with the big thing on the top, he's a winner because he was a champ. He was the reigning champ at the time. So this city, though, it was just on the throes of civil war when this happened. And then in the Civil War, the government at the time, they bombed their own city to stop the anarchists from taking over. It's fascinating. So what's my point with all this stuff? Is that life changes in a heartbeat. In Canada, we have a reputation of being bland and polite, and that we don't want to offend anybody. You got to say the right words all the time, and it's very limiting. In other places in the world, they have a much more radical history. But in that radicalism is that embracing of newness. And out of it, you get all sorts of things. So this one city in the last 150 years, we have architecture, we have cuisine, and now we have technology. We have Picasso, we have Dali, we have history, even sports. Their Barcelona football team is the most valuable sports entity in the world. So as we reflect on how we are all doing life, and as we bring it back to the Biznitches, I implore you, be willing to embrace change. Look at things differently. Put on a different pair of pants. Get a different magazine to read. Read a different book. Look at art a different way. Listen to some different music. See how it lights you up and makes you want to do things differently. If you do that, you'll be surprised at the results. And I know that the results will be astounding. Consider even financially how you're doing things. Do you have the right budget? Do you do the right thing? And all this in turn will ensure not just your financial security, but a life well lived. This is Chuck signing out. Biznitches, love you. Talk later.